Swadikap, good morning and thank you for joining us on Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT Radio Thailand, FM 88 and NBT World. It's Sunday, April 10th and Europe mi Surapalao Tharanarit. Now let's begin with today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha has reiterated Thailand's stance on taking serious steps to enhance nuclear security. In his televised address, General Prayut said during his recent visit to Washington, D.C. to take part in the 4th Nuclear Security Summit that he received the Nuclear Industry Summit Awards on behalf of Thailand. According to him, the award was presented to the country in recognition of its role in eradicating highly enriched uranium, as well as its ability to control radioactive substances. He added that Thailand attaches great significance to maintaining and fortifying nuclear security. He said he believed Thailand has cemented its acceptance in the international community. General Prayut also affirmed Thailand's adherence to international obligations on ensuring world peace and preventing the threat of nuclear terrorism. The Prime Minister has urged Thai citizens to realize the importance of the Songkran festival in all dimensions, while pledging to provide convenience for all celebrants. Speaking to the people on his weekly TV program, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha cited Songkran as one of the most celebrated occasions in Thailand. He therefore expressed his wish that everyone would see the value of the Songkran festival in all aspects. First, in terms of culture, the Premier invited all to get together with families and perform the tradition of pouring water on the hands of elders, as April 13th will mark Songkran Day and the National Elderly Day, while April 14th will be the National Family Day. In the social aspect, General Prayut said a command center will be jointly formed by the military, the police, other related agencies, and the civil sector to promote road safety, reduce road accidents, and prevent drunk driving. As for the economic aspect, the Prime Minister urged holidaymakers to take advantage of the government's tax deductions on traveling expenses. While environmentally, he asked that revelers be mindful of the drought crisis and help conserve water. Former Chilean President, His Excellency Eduardo Frei Ruiz-Tagle, has met with Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha to promote bilateral ties between the two nations. General Prayut welcomed His Excellency Ruiz-Tagle, who is also the Chilean ambassador to Asia and the Pacific, during his trip to attend a seminar on a Thai-Chilean Free Trade Agreement, or FTA. His Excellency said he hoped his visit would further promote trade relations between Thailand and Chile via the FTA. General Prayut expressed his gratitude for the relationship the two countries have. He added that Thailand is ready to extend cooperation with Chile in other areas. Chile exports more than 50% of its goods to the Asia-Pacific region, and 30% of its imports are also from this region. Deputy Prime Minister General Prawit Wongsuwan has denied rumors that the National Council for Peace and Order gave an instruction to submit an additional question for the public referendum. General Prawit spoke regarding the recent move by the National Legislative Assembly, or NLA, to approve an additional question for the public referendum, asking whether the Senate should be given the power of electing the Prime Minister. He said the decision was made by the NLA and that the public will have the right to decide on the matter. The Deputy Prime Minister also urged all political parties preparing for the election to follow electoral rules. He affirmed that general elections will definitely take place in 2017. The National Legislative Assembly, or NLA, has given its approval to a draft act on the establishment of the National Security Council. The NLA sitting on Friday voted 153 to none with 3 abstentions to pass the National Security Bill in its first reading. The legislature also formed a 15-member committee to revise the bill within the next 15 days. Addressing the Assembly before the vote, Deputy Minister of Defense General Udomdea Sitabut said the bill, once enacted, would ensure the country's stability while fending off all threats to national security. Although members of the NLA agreed with the draft, they raised some concerns that under the new bill, the duties of the National Security Council will be very similar, if not identical, to the duties of the Internal Security Operations Command, or ISOC. The National Reform Steering Assembly, or NRSA, has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with 20 organizations to promote national reform. NRSA President Captain Thinapan Nakata presided over the signing ceremony. The NRSA and its partners agreed to cooperate in 3 missions, namely enhancing public understanding of the national reform, creating reform leaders across the country, and setting up reform academies in all 77 provinces. The objectives are to promote public participation in national reform and encourage positive changes at all levels of organizations in both the public and private sectors. The NRSA president said the MOU was signed in line with the Pracharat policy to enable different sectors to have a role in national reform. The committee tasked with coordinating affairs involving aspects of reform and the group in charge of cooperation management will foster the planned collaboration between the NRSA and its partner organizations. The NRSA president also praised all partner agencies for their intention to help steer the country towards prosperity. The Committee on Public Relations for the celebration of the auspicious occasion of Her Majesty the Queen's 7th cycle birthday anniversary on August 12, 2016, is in discussion on preparations for the grand event. The Committee on Public Relations, chaired by Minister to the Prime Minister's Office, Mom Luang Panadda Disakun, has discussed preparations to celebrate Her Majesty Queen Sirikit's 7th cycle or 84th birthday anniversary. The committee has appointed media agencies to prepare an action plan and follow the directions of the Committee on Public Relations. Mom Luang Panadda suggested that they cooperate on the activities planned for this auspicious occasion as a tribute to Her Majesty, who is recognized as the mother of the nation. After the meeting, Mom Luang Panadda presided over the opening of an exhibition on Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri Sirinthorn, which has been arranged by the Public Relations Department, or PRD. The objective of the exhibition is to celebrate the princess's 5th cycle birthday anniversary on April 2nd last year. The exhibition is a presentation of photographs of the princess while undertaking her royal duties. Moreover, visitors will have the opportunity to convey their well wishes in signed messages to Her Royal Highness. All people are invited to visit the exhibition at the PRD until April 17th. An array of hand-woven fabrics are on display at Don Mueang International Airport until this August for Thai and foreign passengers to appreciate. Commerce Minister Apiradi Tantraporn chaired the opening ceremony of an exhibition showcasing Thai traditional woven products made by locals in different regions of the country. The exhibition is also being organized in celebration of Her Majesty Queen Sirikit's 84th birthday anniversary this year. The royal birthday is on August 12th. The exhibition is being held inside Terminal 2 of Don Mueang Airport and will continue until August, which is the royal birth month. The aims are to make known Thai traditional products, trigger local economies, create employment, generate income for the locals, bring stability to local communities, and carry on the art of weaving. The National Broadcasting and Telecommunications Commission, or NBTC, is asking the government to resort to Section 44 of the interim constitution in order to stage another round of auction for the 900 MHz 4G spectrum license. Deputy Prime Minister for Legal Affairs Wisanu Krungam, along with officials from the Office of the Auditor General, the Office of the Council of State, the National Council for Peace and Order, the Office of the Attorney General, and the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology met with representatives from the NBTC to discuss the possibility of holding another 4G auction after Jasmine International Public Company Limited, or JAS, failed to pay the first installment of 8.04 billion baht for the 900 MHz 4G spectrum it had won. Secretary General of the NBTC, Thakon Tantasit, told Mr. Wisanu that the government should utilize Section 44 of the Provisional Charter to hold another auction in a bid to prevent future problems, while proposing that the new bidding round should take place on May 22nd. In reply, the Deputy Prime Minister said he would take the matter to Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha, while expecting the outcome to be revealed no later than tomorrow, April 11th. More than 20,000 vocational students nationwide will not be celebrating the annual Songkran festival, as they'll be offering vehicle inspection to all travelers free of charge. Vocational Education Commission Secretary General Chayapruk Serirak visited a group of vocational students in Bangkok to give them more support. These students will be stationed at 250 different locations across Thailand to provide vehicle checkups to all travelers between April 11th and April 17th. More than 20,000 students are taking part in this campaign, according to the Secretary General. The move is expected to reduce the number of accidents on the road, especially during the annual Songkran festival, when road casualties are normally high. The inspection service includes brakes, batteries, tires, lights and signals, oil levels, coolant levels, and washer fluid levels. Mahidol University has unveiled its Discovery Museum of Tropical Diseases, built in commemoration of the 55th anniversary of the Faculty of Tropical Medicine. Newsline correspondent Kun Na'ak Rotanasuwan has more.
The city has recently established the Discovery Museum of Tropical Diseases in order to collect, archive, and present various achievements of one of the university's oldest schools, the Faculty of Tropical Medicine. By presenting the history of tropical disease treatment in Thailand, the university hopes the museum will encourage new research and innovations in tropical medicine. The museum will also double as an information center for the faculty. According to the Dean of the Faculty of Tropical Medicine, Professor Yawalak Sukthana, the target audience of the museum are children, students, and the general public, all of whom have much to benefit from the establishment.
Yeah. We hope that after they visit our museum, they will have an idea how to prevent and control the infectious disease, especially occur in tropical or tropics. Okay, so and we also realize that for academia or researcher, our museum will inspire them to concentrate on more research to combat with tropical diseases.
The university spent about 15.25 million baht to renovate the first floor of the Sawnchai Lu Ari Suwan building as a museum. According to Professor Yawalak, the funding came from a combination of donations and the faculty's own revenue. The museum is located at Mahidol University's Faculty of Tropical Medicine in Bangkok. Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri Sirinthorn will officiate the opening ceremony of the museum on April the 11th at 3 p.m. This is Akrojana Suwan reporting.
And that's the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. We'll take a quick break now, but before that, let's take a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
Pad Thai. Created from Thai wisdom, used to be served on banana leaf, and the banana tree is used for practicing Muay Thai. Muay Thai was trained in the temples, which can be found on the mountains, in the caves, or on the water, everywhere, just like Pad Thai. There are thousands of other stories to discover. Discover your amazing stories in amazing Thailand.
ASEAN Political and Security Community. Prevent being deceived. Prevent being forced. Prevent being injured. The problem of human trafficking in children, women, and labor has been increasingly severe. Thailand and the ASEAN Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights are working together to get rid of these problems in order to be fully accepted by the international community. One vision, one identity, one community.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. Nong Khai province has launched a clean food campaign for ASEAN in a bid to raise public awareness about food safety. Mr. Suchat Nopawan, the governor of Nong Khai, chaired the opening ceremony of the campaign, which is hoped to encourage the locals to eat clean and healthy food. Participants at the event were given demonstrations on how to wash vegetables and cook food the right way. The provincial governor also presented a certificate to the owner of Jang Sawang Market for offering quality and clean food products to consumers. In addition, the governor handed out aprons to all shop and stall owners in the market. Jang Sawang Market is a giant food provider in the province. It has always been revered among the locals as a must-visit market. On the global front, the U.S. Navy is leading a 30-nation maritime exercise across Middle Eastern waters, which it says it will help protect international trade routes against possible threats, including from Islamic State and Al-Qaeda. The exercise, which is partly being held in the Gulf, comes as tensions run high between Gulf Arab countries and Iran over its role in the region, including support for President Bashar al-Assad in Syria's civil war, for the Houthis in the Yemen conflict, and for Hezbollah in Lebanon. The International Mine Countermeasures exercise started on Monday with a symposium in Bahrain, where the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet is based, in part as a bulwark against Iran. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry had praised security cooperation with Bahrain on Thursday during a visit to the Gulf monarchy, calling it a critical security partner. U.S. President Barack Obama will attend a summit in Riyadh on April 21st with the Gulf Cooperation Council states, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Oman, and Bahrain, on Iran's role in the region. Saudi Arabia's King Salman met with Egypt's top Muslim cleric, Grand Imam Ahmed Al-Tayeb, yesterday during a visit to Egypt's most prestigious institute for Islamic learning. King Salman was given a tour of Cairo's 1,000-year-old Al-Azhar Mosque and joined in prayer at the institute as part of a 5-day visit to the country. The king's visit to Al-Azhar comes amid a flurry of big-budget economic partnerships between the two countries. In a news conference with Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi on Friday, King Salman announced that a bridge connecting the two countries would be built across the Red Sea. The leader gave no specific details, save that it would create jobs in the region and enhance trade. Saudi Arabia is expected to sign a $20 billion deal to finance Egypt's oil needs for the next 5 years and a $1.5 billion deal to develop its Sinai region. Saudi businessmen are investing $4 billion in projects including the Suez Canal, energy, and agriculture, and have already deposited 10% of that sum in Egyptian banks, the deputy head of the Saudi Egyptian Business Council said this week. Political parties in South Africa have been crisscrossing the country to encourage more citizens, particularly young people, to sign up to vote in August's local government elections before registration closes on Sunday. The Independent Electoral Commission said more than 3 million first-time voters registered back in March, but around 8 million people still need to formally register. Statistics show 80% of this figure are young people, and so political parties have been frantically calling on first-time voters to register during the registration weekend of April 9th and 10th. Millions of young people failed to register for national elections in 2014, but it would appear that there's more enthusiasm this time round, even though the vote is only for local government positions. Over 22,000 voting stations were opened at the weekend, allowing citizens to register. This year's local government elections are expected to be the most hotly contested in the country since the dawn of democracy. A baby giant panda born in Malaysia last year was named Nuan Nuan, which means warm in Chinese, on Thursday, as a symbol of the warm relations between Malaysia and China. Malaysian Minister of Natural Resources and Environment Wan Junaidi bin Tuanku Jafar announced at a press conference the baby panda's name Nuan Nuan, which carries the meaning Rama Mesra, a very friendly, diplomatic, approachable meaning. The name Nuan Nuan was chosen from the 22,830 suggestions collected from a naming competition from November to December last year, said the Malaysian Minister of Natural Resources and Environment. Nuan Nuan was chosen as it reflects the relations between Malaysia and China, said Wan Junaidi when announcing the result. The choice was agreed by Chinese Wildlife Conservation Association and approved by Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak and his cabinet, Wan Junaidi added. And that wraps up today's edition of Newsline. If you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook or simply visit our website at thainews.prd.go.th/en. And for today, we're going to say goodbye with some footage of China's artificially inseminated female Rhaphidus turtle in East Jiangsu province. I'm Suraphal Lautaranarit. Thank you for joining us and have a wonderful day. สวัสดีครับ